The new star of Barcelona for 150 million euros. The return of Erik Ten Hag. What club will he manage now? Juventus's first transfer that disappointed many. All this and much more in today's episode. So sit back, enjoy the show, and let's dive in. Let's go! More and more media outlets are reporting that Erik Ten Hag may return to coaching and take the head coach position at Borussia Dortmund, replacing Edin Terzic. Before this, Ten Hag was spotted at several Borussia Dortmund matches. Now the press is saying this isn't just some coincidence. Things aren't going well for Terzic. Borussia is in 10th place in the Bundesliga standings, and something needs to be done about it. Journalist Florian Plettenberg has already reported that the club's management is ready to fire the Turkish coach and replace him with Ten Hag. Honestly, I don't even know how to react to such news. After all, Ten Hag left a rather mixed impression at Ajax. He looked great there, but at Manchester United, to put it mildly, not so much. Many Red Devils fans have been waiting for him to be sacked. On the other hand, can we judge a coach's work at Manchester United right now? We can definitely draw some conclusions. But this team has already eaten more than one manager. It's still unclear what the outcome will be. As for Roma, his situation there is also very up and down. While things have stabilized a bit, it's still too early to make any conclusions. So why not give Ten Hag another chance? Especially if he replaces Terzic now. The results of this season won't count. He'll have the opportunity to get to know the club, oversee the summer transfer campaign, and next season, we'll see what he's capable of. We still have doubts that Ten Hag can prove himself. Once again, Manchester United is a very unique club. Borussia has its own complexities too, but these complexities are something Ten Hag is capable of directing in the right direction. What do you think? Do you believe in Ten Hag at Borussia? Or was his experience at Manchester United enough to judge his coaching abilities? Al-Nassr is ready to offer Cristiano Ronaldo not just some mind-blowing money with his new contract, but also, just to remind you, a year-long deal. Along with this, Cristiano will become a club owner. The Sheikhs are willing to give him 5% of the shares in Al-Nassr. Have you ever seen a co-owner of a team playing for the same team? We mean professional football, not street leagues. This will be the first time something like this happens in our memory. Player coach? Okay, but co-owner? Well, maybe. Recently, Ronaldo himself stated that he will soon become the owner of a big club. I am still very young. I have many plans and dreams. But remember my words, I will become the owner of a big club. This is for sure, said Ronaldo. Maybe at that moment, Cristiano dropped a hint that the Sheikhs were supposed to understand. Though, can we really call Al-Nassr a big team? Only in Saudi Arabia, I guess. In any case, the league is ready to do anything to keep Ronaldo there as long as possible, in any capacity, whether as a coach, a player, or an owner of one of the teams. Let's see where this all leads. Though, if we're talking about a truly big club, it's probably worth considering options in Europe's top leagues. By the way, Lyon has a lot of problems. Maybe Ronaldo and his new Saudi friends will get involved there. Paris Saint-Germain might finally have some worthy competition. Now let's move on to the next news block. Stay tuned, there's plenty of exciting stuff ahead. Newcastle's striker Alexander Isak has already been approached regarding a potential transfer. Not only that, but the Magpies are willing to part ways with their player for 150 million euros and have informed the representatives of Barcelona about it. Is it a coincidence or just a twist of fate? President of Barcelona, Joan Laporta, recently made a statement saying that the financial recovery of the club is complete. We've finished the financial recovery of Barca. We did it without improvisation, without luck, and without external help. We are a club with many values, principles, and ethical norms. Barcelona is more than just a club. This all sounds very interesting, especially considering that not so long ago, Barcelona could have lost 2 of its players due to the inability to register them. Even after registering, Ousmane Dembélé didn't go anywhere, but many clubs in Spain have expressed concerns, claiming that Barcelona managed to get around league regulations. And now, Isak for 150 million euros and financial recovery? Nevertheless, if we set aside all the previous concerns, the Swede would indeed fit well into Hansi Flick's team. After all, we shouldn't forget about Lewandowski's age. He'll be 37 soon. There has been a lot of talk about him potentially leaving the club to move to MLS. At least this league has been mentioned more than others. Robert himself, however, seems to want to stay. But Barcelona is a place where anything can happen. Just look at the Ousmane Dembélé saga. Who could have predicted that? In addition, Lewandowski earns a lot, and this is also a negative factor for the team. So we wouldn't rule out his departure, not because he's a bad player, but because circumstances might force it. But back to Isak. Earlier, the press reported several times that the striker wanted to leave Newcastle because he wasn't satisfied with how the club was growing and developing. Of course, it is happening, but not as quickly as Isak hoped when he signed the contract. And you know, we support him here. The expectations for this team, after being taken over by the Sheikhs, were much higher. In any case, the Swede would prefer to move to a more competitive team, and Barcelona would certainly suit him in that sense. The question is, does Laporta have enough leverage to find the 150 million euros? The only thing that comes to mind, speaking pragmatically here, is to get rid of unnecessary players. Maybe even consider selling some of the youth, like Pedri or Gavi. You choose who you like less between them. As for structuring such an expensive transfer, we can't imagine another way. Ferencváros has moved, and at the moment, it's a loan. However, the contract includes a buyout option. For those who aren't aware, his rights belong to Werder Bremen, where let's say his career hasn't quite worked out. An interesting point, Transfermarkt values him at just 1 million euros. For context, at his peak, he was worth 65 million euros when he left Leipzig and joined Liverpool. That transfer looked very promising at the time. Let's be honest, Keita was an intriguing player with impressive skills. But alas, this move marked the beginning of his stagnation as a player, and his transfer value clearly reflects this. From 65 million euros to just 1 million euros. Such examples shed light on why players sometimes choose money over career, trophies, and everything else. After all, there are many stories like Keita's in football. Things change incredibly fast. We keep repeating this phrase. One moment you're on top, and the next, you could be under it. So, strike while the iron is hot. Footballers understand all these risks and know their form better than the media or TV experts. So, it shouldn't be surprising when a player chooses money over future prospects. Juventus has completed their first transfer. The winter transfer window is here, and Juventus has already made moves. Their first signing was Victoria Guimarães defender Alberto Coelho, who signed a contract until 2028. There are no personal details about his deal, or they're being kept private, but it is known that this transfer cost the old lady 12.5 million euros, with an additional 2 million euros to be paid in bonuses. Moreover, these payments will be made in several installments over the next 4 years. In general, Juventus stays true to its skill in finding loopholes and saving money. However, his market value on Transfermarkt is a modest 1 million euros. It seems that Juventus believes in his potential. Honestly, there's nothing particularly remarkable to say about this guy yet. He has everything to prove on the pitch. Now, about Munir and Araujo, the first one has already arrived in Turin, and it's possible that by the time you're watching this video, Juventus has announced his loan deal. As for Araujo, according to recent reports, Deco convinced him to stay at Barcelona and not switch teams. Whether this is true will be seen over time, but for now, that's the information we have about him. We won't focus too much on Munir and Araujo right now. We already discussed their potential at Juventus in the previous video. You can find the link to that video in the upper corner of your screen right now, and we'll also pin it in the end screen of this video. Make sure to watch it if you missed it. Fabrizio Romano commented on the transfer, let's say, of the new Kvaratskhelia to Napoli. He's a kind of dream player for Napoli, someone they really value inside the club. But at the same time, they understand that Manchester United wants a lot of money for him, and the deal won't be done for 35 or 40 million euros. So everything depends on Napoli's budget and their willingness to invest big money. Antonio Conte is in love with the player. The coach is a big fan of the Argentine. But right now, Napoli is realistically assessing the situation, as Romano wrote on his social media page. Earlier, the press reported that United wanted at least 70 million euros for their player. Napoli considers that amount excessive. However, as we said before, considering the urgency of the situation, it's possible that Antonio Conte's team might accept those terms. Napoli leads the Serie A standings and is on a good winning streak. To maintain this pace, they need to strengthen their squad now, not wait for the summer transfer window, or else the championship could slip away to Inter or Atalanta. He has a future in the team. That's obvious. He has talent, he finds the best way to play on the field, and he's progressing in training. He started in the last game, and we'll see what happens in the match against Southampton. I think he has changed his self-image, said Ruben Amorim, commenting on Ronaldo's future at Manchester United. In any case, we don't think that Ronaldo is untouchable or privileged at United. His sale is entirely possible if someone is willing to pay 70 million euros for the Argentine. There won't be many buyers at that price, but for 50 million euros, there will definitely be some candidates. By the way, Transfermarkt values him at the same 50 million euros. As for the Kvaratskhelia transfer, PSG has yet to officially announce it, but they should do so very soon. By the way, don't you think it's strange that Kvara would leave right now in the winter? His team is on track for the championship, and he's running off to Paris. Why didn't he want to help his team until the end? His nickname Kvaratskhelia doesn't quite fit with this move. Or were there serious reasons behind it? Friends, don't forget to subscribe to our Telegram channel, where we have lots of interesting content just for you. The link is in the pinned comment to this video. And of course, check out our previous video. It's right in front of you. That's all for today. See you tomorrow. Good luck, everyone. Bye.